How are arguments summarized or restated? Is there a specific pattern for speakers or writers to copy? What's the best way to end your speech? These are the questions that you need to answer in order for you to dwell more on what you are going to write as an arguer. This is Miss Mayo again, and this is Grade 10 World Literature. Experience the literature of the world through English. Today, our focus would be summarizing and expressing a statement. As a review, let's have the parts of an argument. Are you still familiar with the basic components of an argument? Yes, they are the claim, what do you think, the reason, why do you think so, and the evidence, how do you know if this is the case? Now, for certain points to consider in developing an argument, these are the things that you should never forget. Use facts and statistics to support your claims. Argue using your evidence in research. Confirm your own position and build your case. And appeal to your audience's rational and logical thinking. Now let's focus on conclusions. Conclusions wrap up what you have been discussing in your paper. After moving from general to specific information in the introduction and body paragraphs, your conclusion should begin pulling back into more general information that restates the main points of your argument. Conclusions may also call for action or overview future possible research. In a general way, restate your topic and why it is important. Restate your thesis or claim. Address opposing viewpoints and explain why readers should align with your position. And lastly, call for action or overview future research possibilities. There you have it. Conclusions are the most salient part of your essay. That is because this is the time you're going to pull them on what you're going to say. So as you see, the most important purpose of writing an argument or telling, speaking an argumentative text is to convince the readers to agree with what you're believing. Therefore, this conclusion is the final pull for them in order for them to believe in what you're saying. Now, let's familiarize ourselves with the parts of an argument paper by looking at this Preacher's Maxim formula. Now, what's the relevance of a burger here in this discussion? You'll find out later. Okay? So, for the Preacher's Maxim formula, for the introduction, it's telling them what you're going to tell them. So, it's like introducing them, exposing them to the fact that you're going to tell them something in the body. And for the last part, you're going to tell them again what you told them at the very start. So technically, it's restating your positions at the very end. And this burger is actually talking about how the body, which are depicted as the ham, the coleslaw, the mayo, and everything tasty in the burger, are held together by the introduction and the conclusion, which are the buns. Okay, so that's how argument paper is constructed. Now let's go with the expressions that you need to know in drawing conclusions. We have a list here, and you can just simply pause the video in order for you to copy all of them, or you can just simply do a screenshot of what's written on this screen. Okay? Now, for your activity, you need to underline the expressions in each statement of positions presented in each statement. Number 1, In general, when you use alcohol beverages in disinfecting and somewhat sanitizing, it wouldn't be as harmful as it will be when it is consumed as a drink. It is indeed ones you can use for emergencies and uncalled for circumstances, then we do need them. What is the expression used for conclusions in this sentence? Correct. The expression here is in general. Number two. Significantly, your face, your weight, your size, or other physical aspects does not directly affect one's behavioral traits. No matter how ugly you may seem to people or even to yourself, if you have that kind and generous heart, you are a beautiful soul. What is the expression for conclusions used here? Correct. It is significantly. Number three. Workplace is indeed a ground where adults learn to mature in thousands of ways as we encounter colleagues with different character, difficult and pressing workloads that challenge us, and we even see ourselves in ways we happen to neglect before working through our careers. Obviously, like diamonds, we need to go through fire to shine. What is the expression or what are the expressions that are used in this sentence? Correct. The expressions used here are indeed and obviously. Next, number four. Given this point, we are now aware that everyone showing bursts of anger and other negative emotions when we see them aren't always bad people. Human nature just simply dictates how we, despite the control and patience we are setting to condition for ourselves, still are capable of misdeeds and imperfections. What is the expression used here? Correct. It is given this point. Lastly, number five. In spite of a child's mischievousness and naughtiness, we, as can be seen, know how these children are capable of giving off that mature vibe, ironically stated with their innocent claims and statements that just come out amusingly every time you focus your time in engaging on a conversation with them. Therefore, communication and deep thoughts aren't only for adults but children also. What is the expression used here? Very good. The expression used here is in spite of. Now you're ready for the next activity. What you see in the screen is a table of the different parts of a certain article. At the bottom of the screen is actually the link for the full version of this article. You may check if you want to, but let's now focus on this one. So what you see at the column of exposition is the statement that is putting together the claim of the speaker. And what you see in the column of arguments are the different evidences and proofs that support the exposition stated at the first one. And lastly, the at the column of the conclusion, it's talking about how the exposition is restated and the conclusion is presented as somewhat a summary of what's stated on the exposition and the arguments. Okay, let's now have this activity. So, review and summarize your main points and state your stand or claims strongly. Match the viewpoint from column A to its appropriate conclusion that summarizes or restates column B to it. Okay, so what you see in column A are the different viewpoints, and the column B contains the different conclusions. You are expected to answer this by matching the number in column A to the letters in column B. So you can just simply pause this video or Do a screenshot of this in order for you to accomplish the activity later on. There you go. So for your assignment, answer the following questions by completing this table. What are the features of the different structural elements of argumentative text or essay? So for with the table, you need to write the exposition, the arguments, and the conclusions and everything that's talking about their features, okay? So there you have it. I hope you enjoy this video. Goodbye and see you again next time.